Good morning. How are y'all doing, folks? This is Jace Forster with Studio 301 coming in reporting with Coach Todd Moebes of the Lockhart Lions. How are you doing today, Coach?
Good, Jace. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. So after last year, the tough loss to Lehman, how pleased are you with the performance this year? Y'all winning 52-7.
I was, pleased with this, football team and kind of, how they prepared. Certainly went out and executed at a very high level. I thought we played great complementary football on all three phases of the game, especially early on to allow us to jump to kind of an early lead there. And, our football team, at least this year, hasn't really been in that situation. First two games were certainly kind of back and forth, weren't in our favor at times. So, the maturity going into halftime with having such a large lead really tested the maturity of our football team, and so was very pleased with the way they came out and really kind of established themselves early in the second half.
Yes, sir. Y'all are starting off this season 1-0 in the district. Y'all were 0-2 in the pre-district. How do y'all think y'all can improve moving forward through district?
We have a progressive mindset. It's that way. Every single practice you got to get better. Our challenge has always been, we need to be better in game 4 than we were in game 3. With this football team, I think we have gotten better every week from our scrimmage to game 1 to game 2, and then, obviously being able to open up district the way that we did, was great. So. We played two really good football teams in non-district, and certainly felt that, that got us ready for a very, very tough district schedule that we have in front of us. And I think you could certainly see the speed of the game that we were playing. Really helped us. And so, like I said, it's just that progressive mindset, just trying to find a way to be able to get better every single day, increase their football IQ, have a more understanding about, what their job is and what happens, kind of in their own personal bubble, and so, I think they have done that, and we certainly progressed again this morning.
Yes, sir. So your team is very youthful, would you say?
Yeah, no, we're very, very young. We've got one, a handful of guys that are seniors on defense. Everybody else is sophomores and juniors, and really the same thing offensively. So, we are a young football team from that aspect. But, at the same time, I'm very pleased with the contribution from our seniors. Jamarian Hawkins had a huge game on special teams. Julian White did too. Santiago Guerra was very productive. Gage Deutsch, again, another senior, was very productive. Darby, Dalen Darby's playing offensive line. Our offensive line played tremendous the other night, and he's certainly been a staple of that group. So, we have some seniors that are playing a really significant role in our football team. A lot of them are playing that way on special teams too.
So I just want to touch on some of the key players on your offense and defense, such as Aiden Scott, Miguel Portillo, Avery Barra, Nathan Rowland, Nathaniel Gonzalez, Wes Abel, Gage Deutsch, and then your son, Caden. How do you feel they can get better each and every week to improve not only themselves but the team as a whole?
I would say, Gage is probably the grandpa on our football team, just because, he's played receiver and been a varsity letterman for the last 3 years. Yeah. A lot of the other guys that are seniors have really kind of moved positions. And so, how can they get better? I don't think that they played their best football game yet. Football is such a game of understanding what your job is and how it affects everybody else. It's all in the details. Your steps, your eyes. You just be able to be confident to be not hesitate in the moment. So if I would say in week 1 and week 2 we were probably hesitant in some areas, where when we went into game 3 we didn't hesitate, and that's why we were able to have so much success. So, sometimes the improvement is not something just that's big. I mean, it's just all in the details, and those details make it as big as what it is that everybody notices. So, all those guys have played a significant role for us. Nate Gonzalez is certainly. I mean, he was a 1,500-yard rusher a year ago, and has had a great start. And I mean, he's seen a lot of football, and certainly playing like it. And some of the other guys that you mentioned, been real proud of our running game. It's certainly something that we're going to have to rely on. Those guys up front are doing a tremendous job, and so we just got to be able to play to our strengths, and we have plenty of areas that we need to grow in, and we just got to keep growing every single week.
Yeah. So on the topic of growth, coming from week 3, having an insane blowout against Lehman, and then week 1 and 2 just coming up short. What's on your mind going into week 4 against Hendrickson, watching the film and studying the team as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, Hendrickson is very, very explosive. They've got some really, really good football players on both sides of the football. Been very impressed, with their special teams. I mean, I was just in there watching their kickoff team, and man, they got some guys that fly down the field. They can put the ball in anybody's hands offensively, or anybody catching a kick, special teams wise, can take it to the house at any moment. So, we've got to play a great team game. We've got to be able to play to our strengths, take care of the football defensively. We've got to be able to keep them in front of us, if they get out there and they get loose, sometimes it may be tough to catch them, so as long as they're in front of us and we have an opportunity to make a play on them, I think that we're going to be okay. So, I think our team got a lot of confidence from last week, but last week's done. It's over with. We enjoyed it through Saturday, and now we're completely, focused on, what Hendrickson brings to the table, and we're going to need to go play our best game of the year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, enough on the players. How do you feel as within the coaching staff y'all can improve on, and how y'all can prepare yourselves going into this next week and every week after that through this district?
Yeah, I mean, our coaching staff is we've got some coaches that are new to our staff. I've been so impressed and pleased, with who they are as men. They love kids, they love the game of football, and that is a great combination. There's nobody's ever. I mean, I hope I've told our kids and I told our coaches. I'm in my 23rd year of coaching. I hope I'm better in year 23 than I was in year 10. And so it's just, again, always trying to progress, from the coaching aspect of it is how is our level of communication. Football can be a very, very complex game. There's a lot of moving parts. But how can we simplify and make something that looks complex, on the board or out on the field, very, very simple for our guys to be able to understand, so that we can eliminate that hesitation, that we're talking about. So that's always our goal, offensively and defensively, and in coaching, is how can we simplify and make things easy for them to be able to comprehend and understand, and then how can we rep it at a pace that is relates to what they're going to see on Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the details parts in coaching, and we've always got to try to fine tune our craft.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on this week and the upcoming weeks that you're going to be seeing in this district?
No, I'll tell you, I think a huge shout out needs to go to our student section. They were getting after it.
Yeah,
I thought the crowd was amazing the other night, and certainly played a role in, the team that was on the other side of the field when we were able to get up on them. I mean, there was a presence that was there that I think was very, very strong. Hopefully that
definitely
same
one that wasn't there last year, and it shows.
Yeah, and I hope that presence goes to Pflugerville with us this Friday. Next Friday we have Cedar Creek at home for our homecoming. Yeah. Certainly that ought to be a tremendous atmosphere too, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we're 2-0, in district going into that game. So. We've got a very, very tough district schedule ahead of us. Hendrickson's a number one challenge that's in front of us right now. Certainly the homecoming date against Cedar Creek the following week will be a great event for us, and another district football game, and certainly something that an opponent that we're familiar with. I mean, we're not very familiar with Hendrickson. I don't think we've ever played them. We've got some familiarity with Cedar Creek and some of our opponents coming up. So, it doesn't get any easier. Each week it gets tougher, and I think our guys are up to the challenge. I think they've conditioned their minds and their bodies, and we're maturing and growing, each and every day, which is important when you go through a football season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate your time here.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Glad to have us. Are we going to do this again?
Yes, sir.
All right, fantastic.
Almost every week if we can.
Every week if we can. Sounds good. So I'm in it. Yeah, I'm proud of our football team, proud of, like I said, our student body, and the crowd that we had, and let's just let's keep getting it better.
Every one of us that was in the press box live streaming the game, we loved it. We were on our feet the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's good. No, it's fun. It's certainly something that's needed, and I can't say enough, what how that factors into the success of the game. Football, any type of competition is all about momentum. If you have it, you're trying to keep it, and if you don't have it, you're trying to get it back. Well, that energy and presence coming from the stand certainly has a factor to that, and I think it played a huge role in Friday night's win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We love to see the support from our town going into every week this season, and I love to see just all those people coming out just to support each and every kid on that team, and seeing the love that gets shown to each and every player, each and every coach.
Yep.
With that being said, this was Coach Todd Moebes talking with Studio 301. See y'all next time.